It's just got so much more to give. Like, there's no other way to put this. Welcome back, guys, to McIntyre's Malts. If you are new to the channel, my name is Wade and I love single malt whiskey. These versus challenges are a great way for me to not only learn more about the whiskeys I enjoy, but also to see what makes one better than the other. And today we're going to do a challenge between the Tamdhu 15 on your right and the GlenAllachie 15 on your left. They are very similar in terms of the specs, the way they are presented, the flavor profile, and even the region they come from. I'm going to compare the nose on each whiskey. I'm going to compare the palate on each whiskey. We're going to consider the value proposition based on the cost of these two in my market. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a recommendation as to which one I think is the best and the winner of the Versus Challenge today. All right, so why don't we begin with the stats on the Tamdhu 15. This whiskey is a entirely matured in sherry oak cask whiskey, aged 15 years from the Speyside region. We are looking at 46% ABV, natural color, but no mention of whether it's chill filtered or not. In my market, the Tamdhu 15 retails in the realm of $150 to $175 typically. In this corner, we have the GlenAllachie 15. It comes in at 46% ABV. It is non-chill filtered. It is natural color, and it is a Speyside Sherry matured whiskey. The GlenAllachie in my market typically retails in the range of $150 to $175 Australian. And if I'm not mistaken, this one is matured in PX casks and Oloroso casks. As per usual, I have them sitting in my Glencairn glasses with tasting caps on to concentrate the aromas. This is the Tamdhu 15 here. You can see it's a bit of a brassy color, this one. Very nice. It's got some beautiful color to it, but more on the sort of golden side of things. Then we have the GlenAllachie 15 here, and you can tell it's a darker whiskey, more of those mahogany tones, redwood tones. I'm going to begin now with the nose on the Tamdhu 15 on your right. Oh, powerful, sweet sherry notes, loads of grain straight away. Lots of that rich plum, sultana. Really nice bold nose on this one. Wonderful. Nice balance of the oak as well. Onto the nose on the GlenAllachie 15 on your left. So much to give. It's just so aromatic, so sweet. It's decadent. I get like burnt brown sugar, raisins, this sort of underlying Turkish delight, sweet sort of jelly, those almost carnival sweet notes are in here. Lots of caramel. That's a beautiful nose. Man, that's a beautiful nose. Let's now move on to the palate for the Tamdhu 15. First initial tasting. Slanjava. Oh, wow. Beautifully spicy. Tingles on the front of my tongue. And at the back of my palate is just this beautiful richness, this sweetness, this wonderful bursting of caramels and sticky dates. Incredible. Now the wood's coming through, oak notes, beautiful linger, and this wonderful balance of spiciness that's just carrying and carrying and carrying. Stunning. This one has definitely gotten better as it's moved down through the bottle. It's remarkable how good the Tamdhu 15 is. It's a beautifully crafted whiskey. Onto the first sip of the GlenAllachie 15. Slange. Ah, this is hard. Oh, awesome. Also beautiful. Picking up waxy notes that I have never really picked up on a GlenAllachie before. This bottle too has definitely improved as I've worked my way through it. Both of these have probably been open for about 6 months. This one came on with lots of those sweet Turkish delight notes, then came in and sort of built up the caramel, then the mocha hits, and you get more of the bitterness coming through, that combo transition between the sweet into the coffee and chocolate notes, and then eases out and then starts to turn more into the drier oak notes, combined with touches of nuttiness and that drier sherry influence at the end. The finish doesn't quite linger as long, but definitely both of these take you on an incredible journey. There's a lot of complexity in the two and lots of transitions on the palate. Let's go again now. Another nosing and then the final finish on my palate, and we'll decide which is the winner of these two today. The Tamdhu, where it shines is on the palate. It doesn't reveal what it truly has to offer on the nose. It's not till you get this whiskey on your palate that you understand how fantastic this whiskey is. GlenAllachie 15 on the nose again. The nose on this is phenomenal. Incredible cask play here, incredible. The way that it reveals all these different aromas and complexity and so much to look for, and they're all detectable notes, like juicy plums in here, the Turkish delight, there's the coffee notes, beautiful sweet sherry, sticky date, malt, beautiful nose. It has to be the GlenAllachie 15 on the nose. It's incredible. I'm going to do the final sip now on the GlenAllachie 15. Slange. Oh, beautiful, sweet. Black tea's in there now. The plums. The spice is building now. Caramels. Toffees. Beautiful heat on the front of my palate. The shortfall here is the finish. It gives you this incredible nose. The palate hits you with this amazing journey, these beautiful textures. All these things are occurring, but it pulls out and drowns away too quickly. Definitely the nose is the strength. It doesn't lack on the palate, but it falls short a touch on the length in the finish. Final sip and finish on the Tamdhu 15. Slange. Starts thinner in the palate this time, actually. Builds up. It's a slow build up of the caramels, raisins and plums and dates now on the front of the palate. Spiciness has dissipated. Texture is a little touch better in terms of the way it finishes, but it too didn't hold up as much on the second sip. The first sip of the Tamdhu was incredible. Perhaps the order that I've now tasted them in reverse has changed things, which is interesting. This is a hard one because that first sip of the Tamdhu just blew me away. Absolutely incredible. I think I have my decision, guys. Both of these are beautiful whiskies that I enjoy immensely, and if you enjoy sherried whiskey, you probably will be satisfied with either of these. The GlenAllachie's nose is superior. It has far more to offer. If the Tamdhu had have replicated that experience I had on the first sip, where it just was this incredible burst of flavors and the linger and carried longer, it would have been a no-brainer for me to just say absolutely it's a Tamdhu. The GlenAllachie finish was short on the second sip, more than I would have liked, but it still presented the same flavors again. I was able to get that experience, the transition, lots of elements, that the only real shortfall was the length in the finish, where the Tamdhu wasn't consistent across the subsequent tasting. So with that in mind, I've got to give this one today to the GlenAllachie 15. It's some great stuff, but again, that doesn't take away from the Tamdhu 15. Both of these are phenomenal, but the winner in the Versus Challenge today for me, based on what I just experienced, GlenAllachie 15. Wonderful stuff, just gorgeous stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you love malt whiskey content, make sure you head down into the description below the video now, sign up to the Single Malt Monthly newsletter. I have another Versus Challenge that you might enjoy as well, so if you're keen, click over here now, check that out, and I will catch you very soon on the next video on McIntyre's Malts.